All right. Welcome again. So now I want to talk about your applications, how to spend the minimum amount of money possible for your applications to graduate school in USA. Now, I've seen a lot of people say that what actually discourages them from applying to the graduate school in the US is because of the money they will have to spend. And I'm here to tell you that it doesn't cost a lot. You see, on Twitter, I used to post about NYSC that it's possible for people to actually save money from NYSC. Now, when I talk about NYSC in Nigeria, NYC is a National Youth Service Corps program that people actually do after they graduate. They do it for 1 year. The government pays them stipends, and then um, they teach in schools, they assist the government and all those stuff. So that's basically that's how it works in Nigeria. I used to say that it's possible for people to actually save money from NYC and use it to apply to schools. And then you see people come at me, fight me, say a lot of stuff because I'm saying it's possible to spend money from NYSA. It's possible to use the money they get from the government to apply to schools and get full funding. Okay, so and the truth is, it is actually possible. We've seen a lot of people do that. I've met guys who were able to do that. NYC during the NYC, they saved money. They applied to schools in the US, and they are presently in the US. So it is actually possible. You see, the question I usually used to expect from people that come against me during those periods is, tell us, how is this possible? Okay, how is it possible that you can spend as low as $0, for example, to get your application, your funding approved and all this stuff? It is very, very possible. Now, number one thing that makes it look expensive to many people is because they try to use agents. Okay, they meet agents that tell them, in Nigeria, for example, you meet agents that tell you, let me do this application for you, and then they charge you sometimes 50,000. I mean, that was when I was even in Nigeria, 2019. They charge you 40,000, 30,000, 50,000, and the likes just to make those applications for you. And many of them don't even apply. They apply to schools with free application fee waivers and all those stuff. Okay, so it is very possible. Number one thing is this: don't use agents, do it by yourself. See, the truth is, there is nothing in this application that you can't do by yourself. You can do everything by yourself. It's about sitting online, sitting with your computer, internet, and then browsing through the school website and learning what to do and then applying. Okay, so number one thing is do it by yourself, DIY. I strongly believe in DIY. Number one, aside the fact that you won't spend money on those agents, it will build you too. It will make you knowledgeable, it will make you know better. Okay, so do it by yourself. That's the number one thing. Do it by yourself. Number two, you can apply to schools with free application fees. There are so many schools with $0 application fees. You can apply to those schools. It's very possible. Apply to those schools, and then you can, since you are not paying anything to apply, you submit your documents straight away. Apply to schools. There are many schools that give free application fee. Michigan Tech University and some other schools, they give free application fee. Case Western Reserve, the physics department, they give free application fee. Brown University. Okay, now free application in many schools differs on the way they work. Some schools will outrightly write it on their website that our school is a free application fee school. I mean, we don't charge anything. We charge $0 basically. That's very possible. Some schools will do that. Some schools don't write it expressly. Okay, so in some schools you have to search for the waivers yourself. Some schools will give application fee waivers to some specific students, to some specific candidates. Some schools will give application fee waivers to those who attend their seminars. So be conversant with information on their website. Some schools will give waivers to those who attend their seminars. So some of these schools make seminars. They do seminars, probably every cycle. They do seminars, and then They allow people to ask questions, international applicants, people who want to apply to the school. And then one of the things they do is that they give waivers to all the students that apply, that attend the seminar. So it's possible to get waiver that way. Some schools will ask you to request for waiver, and then that to tell them why you need the waiver. Okay, some schools like Brown University, Cornell, they ask you to send messages, to write an email detailing why you should get the waiver. And then sometimes they will ask you to attach evidence of hardship. They will say, oh, those who are having financial hardship from their country, they can apply for the waiver. So take advantage of this waiver. Some schools like University of Oklahoma too, they make the application separate for those who don't have the financial capability, so that you send documents, for example, straight away to an email. Now, when you are good enough, they take your application. If you are not good enough, they don't take your application. So that's even good. So you don't even waste your money on an application where you'll be rejected. Okay. For example, physics department of University of Oklahoma, they do that. You just send in your document to a particular email, and then if you are good enough and they want you after reviewing it, they submit the application on your behalf, so you don't have to pay. Okay, that's very possible. Different schools have different ways they do it. In fact, some schools don't even say anything about waiver, about free application, but students send messages to the graduate coordinator and they get waiver. There is someone that sent me a message on Twitter recently. He said he applied to 20 schools, I think. I can't remember the number of schools, but he got up to close to 20 waivers. Okay. It gets close to 20 waivers. And there are some schools that work together. Let me mention this school is what's the Purdue University. There are some schools that work together. They call them the Big Ten. With Purdue University, those who attend that conference, they there's do something that looks like conference seminar, all the stuff. Those who attend the conference seminar, blah blah, they have the opportunity of getting a waiver to apply to those schools. So imagine you attend a conference, a seminar, and then you're able to apply to 10 schools without paying a dime. So take advantage of that. Number two thing you can do is apply to schools that only require unofficial transcripts. Very important. Unofficial transcript. Now you know that when you have your unofficial transcript with you, all you have to do is upload it in the during the application process. Remember, it is official transcript that stress you. You have to go to your school. They have to send it down to the university, and you have to pay for the courier services. You have to pay. Sometimes, let's say you're sending from Nigeria. Sometimes you're paying 30,000, 40,000 down to the US. Okay, but when you apply to school that require only unofficial transcripts, then all you need to do is upload the unofficial transcript. You just upload it online. Okay, just upload it and that's it. Though many of those schools, when they give you the admission, they still require that you send the document to them from your school. Okay, so but of course you already have the admission. Spending that money at that point in time will not be an issue for you. You just be able to spend that money. So this will significantly cut down the costs. Okay. Now another thing is this: you can avoid schools that require West evaluation. That's number three. Avoid school. That's one of the things I did. I avoided schools that require West evaluation. West evaluation, for example, is around 250 to over $200 anyway. And then convert that to the currency in your country. In Nigeria, for example, $200 is over 100,000 naira. Okay, so apply to schools that do not require West evaluation. There are a lot of schools that don't require West evaluation. One mistake many people make is that once they want to start thinking of applying for scholarship, the first thing they do is to either write IELTS or do West evaluation. No, you need to know if your school requires it, but you can look for schools that don't require West evaluation. That's very important. When I was applying to school, once I see West evaluation, I don't apply. I just leave there. Okay, I don't apply. Apply to schools that don't require West evaluation. Number four, apply to schools that don't require GRE, TOEFL, IELTS, all those stuff. Okay, you can apply to schools that don't require all those. All right. So And in this presently, there are even many schools that are already waiving the GRE for most applicants because of COVID-19. Many schools are waiving the GRE. Ordinarily, many schools are exempting Nigerians from submitting English proficiency exam. Now, if the school is not exempting you, write to the school. Tell them that you are a Nigerian, you've been speaking English from kindergarten, all the medium of instruction from kindergarten to university level is English language. Explain to them that you deserve the waiver, that they should waive they should waive um, they should not require you you shouldn't submit those those proficiency exam results, the result of those proficiency exam. Okay, that it should be waived for you. Ask that it be waived for you because you are an English speaker. Tell them the official language in Nigeria is English language. If you are from Ghana, to tell them the official language in Ghana is English language. That you've been speaking English all your life. Okay, that you deserve the waiver. Now, many schools, we did the campaign like that last year, and many schools actually waived it for Nigerians. We had a file that contains schools that waive it. Maybe I should still bring it to Twitter and to YouTube and give the link to YouTube so that you can see schools in US don't require that don't require IELTS, TOEFL from Nigerians. Okay, now some schools gave the option of Nigerians writing Duolingo English test. The Duolingo English test is way cheaper than TOEFL, way cheaper than IELTS. The Duolingo English test is like $50. That's way cheaper than all those two exams. So that's possible. That has drastically reduced the amount you'll be paying. Okay, like by a quarter, you have reduced it drastically. So write to them, tell them that they should waive the English language proficiency for you as a Nigerian, and they apply to those schools that don't require GRE. Okay, that's very possible. That will cut a lot for you in terms of money. All right. Now, having said all this, one other way which I forgot to mention, in which you can get a waiver for an application fee waiver, is when you have an advisor. Okay. Remember, we've talked about cold emailing and all those stuff. Now, when you cold email an advisor is ready to work with you, they can waive the application fee for you, or they pay it for you. That's the word. They paid. I have a friend who went through that route. The advisor paid the application fee for him, and he didn't have to pay anything, all because his work was deemed beautiful and that will add value to the department. So it's very possible to get application fee waiver, to get not to write GRE, not to write TOEFL, not to do West evaluation, and what's the last thing I mentioned? You do it yourself. You cut the cost of agents. But of course, it may be hard finding a school that will have all this embodied in one. Okay, so even if you find out that the school waives GRE, waives TOEFL, did not waive application fee, that's still a win for you. If you find out that the school waive application fee, waives GRE, does not waive TOEFL, then you have to write just that one exam. If you find out that the school waives all those ones but didn't waive West evaluation, then that's fine for you. Then you just pay for one. Okay, but if you find a school that actually waives everything for you, then you are paying $0, just $0. That's what you are paying to be able to gain assistantship, to gain funding into the school. And then don't follow that notion that when they waive it for you, it means they won't fund you. No, that's not always true. They know people struggle all over the world. Tell them about the minimum wage in Nigeria. Sometimes those application fee are more than the minimum. In Nigeria, for example, those who are doing NYC are collecting over around 30,000 naira. Some schools, the application fee is $100, which is over 50,000 naira in Nigeria. So how it's difficult for someone like that. Okay, so let them know the situation. And one other thing you can do is this: if you can't find a school that waives the application fee for you, apply to schools with very cheap application fees. For example, there are many schools, most of the schools in Florida, the application fee is $30. That's the application fee. So if they can't waive it for you, they apply to those with very cheap application fee. The application fee is $25. Apply to such schools. You must not. It's not compulsory you apply to schools with application fee of $100, $150. That for me, that's too much. I'm not sure I applied to anyone like that. Maybe during the first cycle when I got some got those rejections. Okay, so it's very, very possible that you get that $0 in application as an application fee, or that you spend in total. But of course, the point still remains the fact that you still spend money after the whole thing, traveling, blah blah blah. You still have to spend money. There's no way you will do without spending money. That's the reality. But you can actually reduce the amount you be spending drastically. Drastically. Okay. So that's it for ways to reduce drastically, ways to spend the minimum amount of money possible for your application fee. This 15 minutes already. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for stopping by. For those who still watch this video later, thank you for stopping by to watch the video. If you have not subscribed to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. So for those few people I have on live stream, if you have any question in 1-2 minutes, can you drop your questions so I can answer? And if not, I can end the stream. Okay, so if you have a question, I'll wait 1 or 2 minutes to see if anyone has a question. Then if not, of course, you can always drop your questions later on. If you don't have a question now, drop your questions later on. I will find it and I will give answers to it whenever I'm chance, whenever I'm available. All right, thank you for checking this out. God bless you real good. I'll be ending this stream now.